Hey everybody, what's up? It's Limits, and I have another video for you guys, and we're going to go over the constructed Warlock Zoo slash Aggro deck. This is a really popular deck actually, especially in ranked. Not so much in arena. People don't try to build it just because it's kind of difficult. You need all the parts, but the concept's there. So basically, like I was saying, this deck is really popular. This deck actually was, well, not this exact one, but this idea and same cards, maybe a couple were changed. This deck won $100,000 in the big championship BlizzCon for Hearthstone, won by Firebat. So this is a really good deck, and even the pros use it. So I figured I'd make a guide for this deck. So let's go ahead and click new. I'm going to try to keep this kind of short. I'm not going to show you guys in detail how this one works. Like, I won't make a video, or we won't like go into a arena. We'll just go over the cards as we do it stuff instead. So to start off, we'll start off with the Warlock cards this time. The first one you're going to want is Mortal Coil. Everyone should have this, so grab that one. Then I like to run 2 Power Overwhelmings. This is a really good card for finishing off your opponent, or proccing a Death Rattle, or on a minion that's about ready to die and you want to get some use out of it. And then, well, Soulfires were actually just changed here the other day. They now cost 1 mana. They used to cost 0, so they were excellent. And I honestly have not played my Warlock in ranks since the change, but I guess you're still gonna want Soulfires. Now, like anything in Hearthstone, this might change, so we'll have to see how that plays out, but this is what it used to be at least. Then you're gonna want 2 Flame Imps. Now, yes, you take 3 damage for these cards, but these are really good for early board control, which is what this deck is all about. This deck is all about getting minions out fast and overwhelming your opponents. So these are quite good. Then you're going to want Voidwalkers. Obviously, they don't have to be gold. But I have gold, so I pick gold. So, then the next page. The next page I take Hellfire. That's the only thing I take for this deck. Now, there is an option here to use this, Void Terror. Void Terror can be very good because it has some synergy with some of your undercards, such as Power Overwhelming. So when you use Power Overwhelming on a minion, that minion doesn't die until the end of your turn, as long as you don't kill anything too big and trade off. But then the Void Terror, what it does is it takes that minion's health and attack power and it gets it itself. So if your minion is powered up by Power Overwhelming, you can take that and power up your own minion before it dies. So this card is an optional card you could throw in there and play around with it, as long as you know how it works. So I do recommend playing around with this card. But for now, we'll take Hellfire. Oops, I already took Hellfire. I need 1 Hellfire. Then on the last page for Warlock, you're going to want your Void Callers. And these are very important. Their death rattle is put a random demon from your hand into the battlefield. And the whole point you want to use these guys on are for your Doom Guards. Now, Doom cards are discard 2 random cards from your hand, which you don't want to have to do that. So when your Void Caller dies, it will summon, hopefully, if the Doom Guard is in your hand and no other demons are in your hand, it will place your Doom Guard down, and then you'll get that Doom Guard for free. And now you'll also notice your Doom Guard has a lot of health and it has a charge, so it's really good if you sacrifice, say, your Void Caller to an opponent's minion. Then you can play and your Void Caller dies, you get to play down your Doom Guard for free, and you're getting board control. So it's a really powerful synergy between these 2 cards, which is really what this deck revolves around. So pick 2 Doom Guards. Next, let's move over to neutral cards. For neutral cards, you're going to want 2 Abusive Sergeants. The battle cry is give a minion +2 attack this turn, which is pretty self-explanatory. It's really good. There are a few options you can do here. Leopard Gnomes are good in any aggro deck. This time, I'm not actually running them in this current build, but you can run these. These guys, Leopard Gnomes are an option, so keep that in mind. All decks are about, you know, playing it around with yourself and figuring it out. Oh, and if I guess I should mention what you could replace with your Leopard Gnomes. You can replace Mortal Coil, because card regen isn't too important in this deck, or you can replace Void Walkers, or you can even replace Flame Imps for the Leopard Gnomes. Undertakers, you need 2 of those. Amazing cards. Another thing I should mention is using Leopard Gnomes is going to make your Undertaker stronger, and your Void Walkers really don't. So, you know, it's optional. So for my deck, I take Blood Mage. Now, this is a legendary, and I understand a lot of people don't have this. So, what you can use in place of that is either Mortal Coil, or, again, you can use a Leopard Gnome, which I highly recommend using a Leopard Gnome versus the Mortar Coil. Next, you're going to want... Let's see here. Bypassed it. Direwolves. Direwolf Alphas, super strong, get that extra 1 attack on 2 minions. Now, you never want to play this card down first. You always want to have minions down and then minions that are going to attack, and then play this card down. That way, you're getting that +1 damage no matter what, because your opponent will probably kill this pretty quick. Next cards that are super important, Knife Juggler. I did not put the Direwolves in my thing. Knife Jugglers, super important. They are just extra damage. They have really good synergy with Haunted Creepers. When your Haunted Creepers die and it summons those 1/1 spiders next to your Knife Juggler, those count as minions, so it will shoot off extra knives. So it's very good. So get 2 creepers. And let's see. Knife Jugglers. Oh, Nerubian Eggs. Now these are, again, optional cards. I like to run these because I find a lot of people have an AoE, like Holy Priest, or will use their Holy Nova. Mages, Flame Strike, Blizzard, anything that kills all your minions. By having these down, it kind of stops people from wanting to kill those guys unless they can handle your Nerubian Eggs as well. So it's kind of a deterrent for you. You can replace these, again, with Leopard Gnomes or something lower, which I might recommend for more easier playstyle. Again, Hellfire over here, this can be replaced also with a Leopard Gnome. I just started running Hellfire, honestly, recently for some extra board clear. Because Hellfire also does hit all characters, so it also will finish off your opponent if he gets stuck at like 3 health, which has happened to me a couple times, so that's why I started to run that card. So we got our Nerubian Eggs, and now we need Defenders of Arcus, which is somewhere in here. Here he is. Defender of Arcus ×2. Super, super powerful card. Always take these in aggro decks. Really in any deck. Defender of Arcus is such a good card to use. So, grab 2 of those. Then lastly, this card is optional as well. Your Harvest Golem. You can use different stuff in this place, but I recommend using the Harvest Golem. Again, it has the Death Rattle, which is going to have good synergy with your Undertaker. And it's kind of just one of those minions that's kind of hard to remove from the battlefield, which is what you want with this deck. So yeah, it's a good card. So as you guys see it, we have 30 out of 30 cards. this is the Warlock Zoo, otherwise known as an aggro deck. So it's all about fast pace, laying down low cost minions and getting those minions out and going directly for your opponent's face, meaning you want to kill their hero. So yeah, so that's a basic rundown of how this deck works, and you guys should definitely try it out. Um, if you have not already, there's not a lot of subs you can do with this card, meaning you can't trade if you don't have some of these cards. It really affects the deck. Like if you don't have Void Caller or you don't have Doom Guards, don't don't play this deck. Like you need those cards to make this deck successful. Um, the nice part about this deck is it's so simple and anyone can kind of get the hang of it. Um, it's really nice once you do get the cards for it. So yep, thank you guys for watching, and I will maybe do a video with me running this deck later down the road, so you guys can see it in action. But for now, this is just a rundown of how to build a Warlock aggro deck. Thank you guys for watching.